Hi everyone! Today is the UK release date for Miniature Secret Garden by Johanna Basford, and it will be released in the US and worldwide on the 22nd of September, so you guys over the pond don't have long to wait at all. All of the links will be in the description for you to order and pre-order. But yes, here it is. It certainly is a miniature version. As you can see, my hand span is bigger than the book. I'm going to compare it to my Big Secret Garden, the original one. This is the Spanish version, but it's exactly the same, and if I just put this one against it, you can just see the difference between the books. So this would be fantastic to go in a handbag, a school bag, on holiday, you know, if you can get a holiday nowadays, anywhere you want to go, the doctor's office, it's there, it's portable. So the actual measurements are just over 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres exactly, and it contains every single illustration that you will find in the original Secret Garden book, plus 2 brand new exclusive bonus designs as well. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have a look through the original Secret Garden and then look at the miniature Secret Garden so that you can see how each has been scaled down, each illustration, and obviously they're going to be really, really tiny. You're going to need a magnifying glass maybe, or some really, really sharp pencils or fine liners. It should be noted, by the way, that the original Secret Garden did have a hide and seek treasure hunt type thing in it. This doesn't, so that's missing, probably because of how small it is. It would be quite difficult to hide something inside the illustrations. So this is the first one from the original Secret Garden. I'll try and keep it all in shot for you. And as we open Miniature Secret Garden, you can see that it has this really thick card French flap. And then the title page, another title page, the copyright information, and then you have the book belongs to page. So it even has that same book belongs to page, albeit tiny. But yes, so it's all the same. You've got a little note from Johanna here just saying that you'll find a magical black and white wonderland full of fantastical flowers and curious plants. There's nothing really about it being miniature there. I think that must be the same intro that she used for this book. But here you go. So you can see both illustrations side by side or up by down. And you might be able to tell, I'm not sure, but the Miniature Secret Garden has a very light cream kind of ivory colour to it, whereas my Spanish copy is bright white. Now I believe that the UK edition and the US edition as well, maybe, of the original Secret Garden also had a cream ivory colour to the paper, but you know, it doesn't really make any difference to me. So yes, here's the illustrations side by side so that you can see how they've been scaled down. Obviously you've got the birdhouse here, and you can see just how much smaller that is. Now, even though it is a miniature book and everything has been, I was going to say smallified, but that is so not a word. Where has that come from? Everything has been shrunk down, and you can still colour it though. There is still room for you to get fine liners in there or sharp pencils. It's not, you know, something that's absolutely impossible to colour with no defined spaces whatsoever. So this is this one here. Instead of it being circular, it's been expanded so that it fits the square proportion of the book, but you can see it is the same design. And then on the back of that one is just a little butterfly, and you'll find that as we go along. This little miniature book is 108 pages, and I believe it's over 70 illustrations, but occasionally you will get a little bit of an element from this illustration on this side of the page. And I suppose that's quite good, because if you did want to use something that was maybe a bit heavier, I don't know how you would on this illustration specifically, but if you wanted to use paints or what have you, then at least you've got some illustrations that only have a little element on the back that you're not too worried about ruining. So as you can see, this illustration is here, and then we have an owl and the leaves, which should be, oh, just spilled my tea, should be the next one in the big book. Yep, as you can see it is. And it goes on like that all the way through. Now, as I said, sometimes it will be little elements like this. So you can see these leaves over here in this illustration, and this whole circle with the peeping owls is this one here. It's quite difficult to juggle 2 books at once, but take my word for it that all of the illustrations do appear in the miniature size. So I'm just going to get to this one because this is a really good illustration. There we go. So you can see the difference. You'll still be able to colour all the rocks and the little pot plants and the little stones even and everything like that. There's even that tiny little snail there which still has those defined spaces. So Johanna has said, if you are feeling a little bit daunted by the amount of microscopic spaces that you'll see in this book, try and use the lines as detail rather than something that you've got to colour individually. So what I mean by that is, for example, if you're going to colour this plant pot here, it's got several lines on it that you could essentially get your fine liners and pencils in there to colour, but why not instead just colour the plant pot as a whole? So maybe you do a gradient from dark brown to light over here and just use those stripes and those lines as just extra embellishment and detail. They don't each have to be coloured in, and that goes for pretty much everything in the book really. So just flicking through, because of course if you do have Secret Garden, you will know of all these illustrations already. You can see that everything has been scaled down, from the mazes to the florals to these elements like the lantern and the sunflower. And these big gardenscapes, the double page spreads, they're still as beautiful as they are in the large format. And again, it's still very, very colourable. It is certain illustrations like this that pack a lot of detail and a lot of features within one illustration that you may struggle with, if anything. I'm going to bring it up to camera so that you can... How creaky is my chair? I'm going to bring it up to camera so that you can see exactly what I mean by the tiny spaces. So the leaves really are very, very tiny. But again, as you can see, even on the stems here, there is discernible space to colour. So let's have a look at the brand new illustrations that Johanna has done as a bonus for this book. And they are right at the back. So first of all, we have this kettle. We have a plain one and a decorative one. So I really like the symmetry of this. You could do anything that's opposites really, day and night, black and white. You know, I think it'd look really cool as a counterpart to each other. And then we have this framed set of florals here that Johanna has created for this book. Again, very in keeping with the Secret Garden theme. We've got lots of different blooms there, large and small. So that's it. You get to the end of the book and all it is another dust cover. Again, it's really thick. You could probably use alcohol markers on this, maybe, but just give it a go first, just in case. And yeah, the paper itself feels exactly the same as the paper Johanna uses in her standard books. It's very thick. It does have a very light tooth. It's not smooth by any means, but the tooth is not heavy whatsoever. And if you'll notice, particularly in illustrations like this that go across the page, a space has been left at the spine so that you'll be able to really get into every single part of the colouring image without having to struggle with the spine. Now this UK version is perfect bound, so it's really, really good binding. I don't know whether you can see this or not, but it's not glued, it's stitched. So really great binding on the UK edition. I'm trying to think if there's any other details I can give you for the book. I don't think there is, but as I've said, links will be in the description for this. I'm going to do a little bit of colouring now as a speed up, and if there's any questions or any comments you'd like to leave about this book, do let me know. I hope you enjoy the speed up, and I will see you soon on Colour with Claire.